Hello and welcome back to Yorkshire Railway and welcome back to another model railway review, where today we're going to be taking a look at a Hornby train set, and if you can't see from the image on front of you, it is the Hornby Dublo train set featuring the LNER Sir Nigel Gresley as well as two LNER Gresley Teaks. So yeah, it's a great looking train set from the box art. Takes it back to the original train set that this is from, but obviously it's a new tooling as well as a new locomotive, not back from when Hornby was still starting out. As you can see, this is part of the Centenary year collection, so it is a limited edition, and I believe only 1,000 units were produced, which obviously I am the lucky owner of one of them. You still can actually buy these brand new from retailers, as well as there are a few second-hand ones on the market. However, I have seen on eBay some people are selling them for an absolute fortune, so I wouldn't recommend getting those. Get yourself a decent amount, and I believe the full RRP of these is about £230. Um, so yeah, in terms of that, obviously make that as you will. I actually bought this from the Island Model Railway shop. They were really great service. It got shipped out immediately, so yeah, can't fault them for that. I will also say when I first got this set, the bogies actually fell off after about a week of using this. Contacted them, their customer service was great. They said I sent it back. They got it fixed through Hornby themselves and got it sent back out to me, and it is working perfectly to this day. So we're going to take a closer look at the set itself in just a minute. But yeah, just want to give them a shout out for their customer service and you know, everything for getting this train set back to me in one piece. So yeah, let's take a closer look at it. So if you do want to get one of these for yourself, I'll just flip it round and show you the R number, just so you can grab one for yourself. It is number, just trying to find where it is, it's different to the most Hornby ones. There we go. It is R1252M. That is the LNER Sir Nigel Gresley train set Centenary Year Limited Edition. As I say, these are currently still available from certain retailers, brand new, as well as you can pick some second-hand ones up. It's DCC ready, as you can see, with a minimum radius of 438mm. So without further ado, I think we'll take the lid off the train set and we'll take a closer look. Again, as I said, the box art is absolutely fantastic. You know, takes it back to the original train set days. As you can see, part of the track is missing from this set, and that is because it is in my own layout, so I've used a lot of the track. Here is some information on the set itself, and there we go, look, limited edition of 1,000 units. So yeah, if you want to pause now and take a reading of that, you certainly can. But yes, the track itself is part of my layout, hence why it's missing. So we're just going to dive right in and take a look at the locomotive itself. So we have Sir Nigel Gresley here. We have a brake, and we've also got just a standard coach. Great to see they're all in the block of ice packaging, although they're obviously in the egg box sort of style box packaging. You know, it's great to see that they're actually even more protected because they're in that block of ice. You know, it comes with the power track and third radius loop. That is literally the entire track, so it's just a oval layout, which I think is a little bit of a shame. I know that is obviously what the original train set was, but in today's day and age, for the money that is paid here, I think probably could have done a little bit more. Some detail bags there. I'd obviously taken it out when I opened the train set originally, so yeah, you've got the realistic pony truck as well as a few bits of pipes, but not a lot in there, so a lot is factory fitted to the locomotive. So here is a closer look. As you can see, a couple of pipes, a realistic coupling, and what looks like a pipe work for the front of the locomotive, as well as that realistic pony truck, should you want to fit it. But obviously do take care doing that, because it does limit what the actual locomotive can run. I believe in the radius it might struggle with, so take that as you will. Yep, sliding out of the block of ice packaging, and we'll take a closer look at Sir Nigel himself. So, although this is marketed as the Dublo train set, I can't say I've actually purchased one of the Hornby Dublo diecast locomotives. This certainly feels, like a quality locomotive, but is quite lighter than expected. So, certainly I don't think it is 100% a Hornby Dublo diecast locomotive, just a nice, a Hornby Railways Sir Nigel Gresley. But yeah, looking at the lining at the front, we've got a, I'm not sure if it's metal, but certainly a separately fitted nameplate. Lovely lining around the streamlined head there in the lovely black, and that fades out into that lovely garter blue, which is absolutely really, really well finished off here. It is, I've always said A4s are a little bit basic, but, who doesn't love an A4? And we take a look at the pipe work, sorry, not the pipe work, the handles along the sides. They're really well fitted, no visible glue. Lovely painted detail on the inside of the cab. I do think for the price, it is a shame that there isn't like a flickering firebox, but still the same. We've got a lovely cab with glazing as well. Numbers and letters on the tender and the cab there, absolutely lovely, crisp lettering. So yeah, it's absolutely very well applied. Taking a look at the buffers, we've got metal sprung buffers on there. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. We've got the metal whistles as well. So it is a very, very fantastic locomotive. We're going to take a look at the coaches now. So as I was saying, if you've watched my BR Hornby Collect coaches, the one thing I said in those that at full price they were £56 or £50 at least, and I thought they were absolutely extortionate value for that. I didn't think they were quite worth the money, and that is because I knew that I've always got these. Now these you can buy separately for, I believe it's £60 for the coaches, but in terms of finish and detail, I think you'll agree there's second to none. This lovely better version of the Teak Coaches. This is like the creme de la creme compared to like the railroad version. It's a fantastic finish on the actual paintwork. It looks really glossy and varnished like they would be in real life. We've got lovely numbers on the doors, and yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic finish. I mean, look at the separately fitted detail under the sides with the pipe work. We've got kinematic couplings, metal wheelbase there. It's just absolutely fantastic. It moves separate to the bogies themselves, although at full tilt does drag them a little bit with it, but that's not too much of a problem. The corridor itself is plastic and not rubberized in comparison to like the LNR Azuma, but I don't think that's much of a problem. And obviously it does come with that closed coupler as well. So yeah, I think it's an absolutely fantastic coach. We're going to take a look at the brake coach. There's not much difference, but the brakes do tend to have a little bit of extra detail added to them. So grabbing it out, as you can see, got a bit of separately moulded detail there that has been painted in a lovely finish. I just think it's absolutely fantastic, this coach. It's really, really great in terms of its actual finish, and I think that's what gives it that sort of I won't say value, but the expensive look of it. It looks like a quality item, and that in terms, just makes this train set even feel even more special. And I do think it's great that you can buy these as a separate entity. Obviously, You can't get the brake, but you can get the full brake as well as extra coaches, which I haven't got at the moment. But let's take it down to the track and we'll take a better look at the mechanism itself. So here Sir Nigel Gresley is down on the track. I've just put the coaches in a siding ready for later. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to up the juice and we'll see if we can get a crawl. Obviously this has been in storage for about a year, so we'll see what kind of crawl we can get. A little bit on the coggy side. I wouldn't say it's terrible. That is actually quite impressive to say how long it's been sat for. It's you'll have to forgive me. I'm editing and Obi is currently scratching the floor. So yeah, if you can hear some light scratching noises, that is him. But yes, back to the locomotive itself. I do think that is an absolutely fantastic crawl. Pop it in reverse now, and we'll see if we can get a better crawl. It is moving ever so slowly. That is absolutely incredible. To say that this hasn't been running or used for a year, sat in storage, I haven't oiled it or anything, this is straight out of the box. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, I don't even think it will need rerunning back in if it can crawl like this. That is so slow, so controlled. And this is on analog as well. This isn't on DCC, this is on analog. And that is the kind of control that you can get from this locomotive. Yeah, I'm almost speechless with how good this locomotive is. You know, it's almost making me more tempted to get more A4s, because if this is the kind of quality Hornby can put out, then yeah, I'm all for it. You know, I'm absolutely in love with this locomotive. It is fabulous. Yeah, I'm honestly speechless with how well that's performed, and say how long it's been sat. But anyway, I've connected to the trains. I haven't even given it a run in, because what we're going to do is we're just going to send it running around the layout, because I think we need to enjoy this at a more prototypical speed. So yeah, I'm going to send the train round the layout and we're going to enjoy just basking in all its glory. Okay, so we're going to send Sir Nigel for his maiden voyage round the layout, and you know, I honestly cannot fault this locomotive. I certainly do have a love for A4s. I wouldn't say a soft spot, but definitely a love for them. And yeah, this model is just breathtaking. Its performance is next to none. It's honestly just probably one of the best locomotives in my collection, and that wouldn't even be putting it lightly. You know, obviously I'll get into the ratings in a little while, but I'll explain more then. But yeah, it is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at him thundering along. But yeah, I think before I end up waffling on really anymore, we should get to the ratings, and I'll explain my thought process behind all that. Okay, so time for some ratings. So this is for the Hornby Dublo Train set, Sir Nigel Gresley A4. And we're going to start off with performance, which I have awarded probably very generously, but I have awarded it 5 stars. The crawl is incredibly impressive. It ran faultlessly, no derailments, no slowing down on any of the curves, just ran absolutely faultlessly. So I cannot award anything lower. Detail wise, you know, I'm very impressed that it's got a lot of metal features. There's no glue or anything present on my model anyway. But yeah, detail wise, I think it's just inherently the A4's problem is it is just lacking in detail. I think certain little aspects of the locomotive itself, I keep on mentioning a flickering firebox, certainly wouldn't go a long way. I think that could enhance what detail this locomotive can push out with how basic the body is. So yeah, that's why I've awarded it 4 stars. Livery, again, I don't know if it's just like Hornby's problem. Obviously, the satin sort of finish on them. It's, it's certainly great, but it could be better. And I think certainly on the A4s, they have this more sort of shiny appeal when you see them in real life. And I think Hornby, it's about time that you sort of looked at how you could replicate that a little bit better. So, livery, I'm giving it 4 stars. Obviously, I cannot fault the lining, it's all perfectly, absolutely fine. So, yeah, I'm just thinking in the paint itself. Quality, I've awarded it 4 stars, and that's because obviously earlier in the video I did mention it, but when I first got this train set, the bogie fell off. Now, that to me doesn't scream quality. I don't think it's enough, obviously, to knock it down. There was obviously just a screw missing, but it did involve me actually sending this locomotive back to the shop that I purchased it from for them to send it to Hornby, them to fix it, and then them to send it directly to me. Obviously, yeah, I had to wait. I think it was about 2 weeks for it to return. Obviously, in terms of sending that back, it's probably was at Hornby for about a week, which isn't at the end of the world. I got it back eventually and it works absolutely perfectly, but there obviously is something a little bit wrong with the quality on that. Other than that, I can't really moan. It's been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, can't really fault it on that aspect. It's just, yeah, that's the only thing that stopped it from getting 5 stars. However, the value, it does get 5 stars on that because the full RP of this is $224.99, which I know is absolutely amazing, even just for the locomotive, because in today's day and age, you'd be paying that for a brand new locomotive. Obviously, this is from 2020, so it's still not that long ago, and still has a lot of the features that today's Hornby locomotives have for that price. Not all of them do have flickering fireboxes, and I think that is certainly going to change in the future. I think a lot of them for this price will be getting that, but in terms of the locomotive itself, $224.99, not bad for a full RRP. But in that as well, you're getting 2 coaches that RRP at about £60. So that's £120 in coaches, if anyone's totaling this up. And then not only that, you're getting a full train set on top of it. So you're getting an oval of track, a controller, and a transformer. Granted, they don't really cost that much, but all in all, you're getting probably close to about £400 worth of items for $224.99. I paid $219.99 for this, so slight discount, but not a great amount. But certainly, I can't really fault the value on this. It's absolutely incredible. Especially as I say, you buy the new coaches to extend this, and they cost £60. That on its own, really, it just stands out enough. So, yeah, it's getting 5 stars for its value. And that comes back to the overall rating of 4.4 star, which, you know, I think is well deserved. Fantastic locomotive, a little bit shoddy on the quality and some of the detail, but value, great. The one thing I probably will say that not really increasing it in the value as such because of what you're actually getting for the locomotive. But yeah, I do think these sort of nostalgic train sets are getting a little bit old. And I think in terms of attracting new viewers, value for money with that train set would have been a lot better if it had some extended straights just to run them at full speed, and probably either or some point work so you could do a little bit of like a terminus station or just to store your locomotive. I think that would have been a little bit better to include in the box. But when I started looking at the overall figures of it, it's a pretty decent value for a train set. So yeah, can't fault it really whatsoever. But that is all from me today, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the Centenary train sets in action. And I'd love to know in the comments down below, do you have one yourself? Obviously, Hornby put out a couple of them. They had this one, and I believe it was the Rovex train set, as well as there was the Hornby Peckett, the Centenary Peckett. So yeah, drop it down below. What Hornby Centenary locomotives have you got? I'd love to know more. But yes, that is all from me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to give it a like, as well as drop a comment. And if you haven't already, drop a subscribe as well. It's free to do so, but massively helps my channel out. So if you love seeing locomotive / rolling stock reviews or model railway building, that's what my channel's all about. So if you think that interests you, it's free to do so. All you've got to do is click subscribe. Helps me out massively, and you get to join an amazing community. But yes, that is all from me. Take care, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will catch you in the next video.